Happy Thursday. There's really no coffee in here. Whenever you are watching a show and someone buys coffee for everyone in there, or they're handing a coffee, or they're holding a cup of coffee, there's never coffee in there. It always drives me crazy. Like, put something in there to make it at least look real. So, I'm not going to carry this around. Anyways, I'm going to ask a question, do a little talking, and then come back to the question. And the question is, what is your third space? Hold on to that. I'll come back to it. For those of you who have been here or are familiar with it, this is our lobby. This is where you come into the church on a Sunday morning and kind of mingle around. This is our children's check-in table where we greet parents and give you a number before your kid goes back. This table right here is empty, but this is our sign-up table. So we just finished signing up for CPR. We had that this past Saturday. When we have any kind of women's ministry event or anything coming up, it will be at this table. This is where you get greeted and you can get coffee on Sunday morning. We have a few tables, but we just got a shipment of hand sanitizer in, so it's kind of taking up that space. You'll see a lot of people just hanging out in this place because it's a great place to hang out. This is like the sports talk area. This is where the guys hang out and kind of catch up on what's been happening over the weekend in sports. So this is kind of a neat place to just hang out before you walk into the auditorium and find your place to sit and to worship. So you got a little bit of a tour of our welcoming space as you come into the building. Now let me go back to the question that I asked the first time. What is your third space? Well, you're probably asking, well, then what are first and second spaces? Your first space is your home. It's the place that you reside. It's the people that you hang out with on a regular basis because you live in the same house with them. It's safe, it's comfortable, and whatever relationships you have with your family, that is your first space. Your second space is work. Maybe you volunteer somewhere. Maybe there's some place in your life that you go to on a regular basis that's not home, but it's still somewhat structured. Like I said, for most people, their second space is work. You have coworkers, you have a routine, you have things that you're responsible for, and you have relationships in that second space that's different than relationships in your first space. Then there's the third space. And the third space is that social place that you go to on a regular basis, that you hang out with people or you are with people who are different than you. For a lot of people, it's the ball field. It could be a school event. And for a lot of people, it's church. It's a place that you can go to that you build relationships. You form relationships with people who are different than you. They may vote differently than you. They may have a different understanding of God or a different philosophy than you, or just a different approach to life, different values, different beliefs than you. But you're in the same place building relationships with people who you may or may not naturally choose to have relationships with. Your family you don't choose, but that's who you're with. Work, you have coworkers, and you just all have that in common, that you're in that same place. But this third space is a really important space because it's the one that took the biggest hit during COVID. Most people retreated to their first space, remote work, or they combined first and second space, or they returned back to second space, but they haven't returned back to third space. And that's a place that really forms who we are, that when we have intentional places that we go to where we build relationships with people who are different with us, it forms us in who we are, and it makes us more accepting and more loving and more generous in who we are. So on this Thursday, in this week, I want you to ask yourself, do I have a third space? Do I have a place that I can go to where I am building relationships, getting to know people, having people getting to know me who are different than me? And if you don't, you are missing out on the importance of having a public third space. So I hope you have the best first space, that your family and home life enriches you and it grows you. And if it doesn't, that's something we can talk about later. I hope your second space is a place that provides some kind of meaning and some kind of purpose for you. And if it doesn't, maybe you have some questions to ask. And then I hope that you have a third space, a place where you are regularly with people who are different than you are, and to grow close, to learn and grow respect, and just to grow these relationships with those people. This Sunday is Memorial Day weekend. We're going to have a message that no, it's not Memorial Day weekend. Why am I saying that? I am skipping way ahead. This Sunday is the 21st. And we hope to see you in this third space and join us as we gather together. So I think I'm going to leave that in. I'm not going to redo it. So happy fake coffee. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Sunday.